Hi guys, welcome to the new episode of the LIS pod with me, Bo,
T.
and our guest all the way from across the road.
Ossama, hello.
That sounds so still, fam.
Does it?
That sounds so still.
Well,
bro.
that is the whole purpose of today,
I know,
isn't it?
I know.
Well, look, for the next hour and a bit, we're going to be picking the brains of one of, most talented players I know on and off the pitch. I heard he has a good right punch. One of our old captains will know that. We're going to dive a bit into religion, a bit into sports, and a bit into prejudice,
And
if
like,
that's okay with you.
Yeah, very much so.
Before we start this,
he plays for Jamaica.
I think it looks more like a Wallabies shirt. Do you know what I mean? Like like an Australia thing. That's what we were saying when we got given it.
Yeah.
he's not gifting it to us,
Like
but it
leather.
is. Let's just cover his face up here. Yeah, this is the guest for the next hour.
What my shirt?
Just your shirt, just your shirt.
I didn't want to frame that one. That's I had to pick out that at the back of my cupboard. That's just hiding there.
So you know what? Let's start it nice and easy. First of all, yeah. How do we know Ossama? We played rugby with him at Wasps.
Yeah. I mean, Boyens. I live just there.
You
Yeah.
literally-
Just there, opposite. And I've never been in your house before.
Yeah.
First time
I've never been in your house either.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, but we played rugby together at Wasps. These two have gone on to other things. I'm still there. But yeah.
Oh, so Ossama and I have played rugby together. You're 1 year below me, aren't you? Or is it 2?
No, more than that. How old are you?
I'm 25.
I turned 23 last month.
Oh, so
So-
2 years.
Yeah. 2
Uh,
school years.
2
Yeah.
school years. You played at Wasps, and you also went to my alma mater, Loughborough University.
Where did you go?
Loughborough University.
Oh yeah, of course.
Henceforth, I said my alma mater.
I thought you said something else. Never mind.
No, no.
Yeah, you
worries.
did go laugh. I remember that.
And yeah, let's start from the very beginning.
Let's go.
You know what? Where are you from? What country are you from? Etc. That kind of stuff.
But the most important question: what's your favorite fruit?
What's my favorite
That's a
fruit?
dead question, bro.
Do you know what? Because I've been going to Pakistan a lot recently. I have to say them Pakistani mangoes.
Oh,
They are so good. Like, when
What differentiates them from a normal mango?
I mean, the mangoes you get at Tesco's, they're.
Oh no, we don't talk about those ones. Talk about the ones you get from like the Arabic shops down the road.
Do you know what? A lot of them they get them shipped from Pakistan or India. So like it's just the same, but they've travelled.
Oh, so like all of us,
Yeah, basically.
us three, basically.
But then the ones there, they're just. Do you know what it is? Because they know there which ones are the nice ones, which ones aren't. So
Yeah.
when I go shopping there, or when I go to like a mango store, my cousins will know which ones to pick out, like which ones are the nice ones,
It's the
which
skill.
ones aren't ripe yet, which ones need to be like put in the fridge for a bit, which ones need to be frozen for a bit.
The fruit question was deeper than I thought.
Do you know what it is? It's the skill that every like foreigner has. When you're like born in London, you know, like you're gonna go Tesco, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, be like, oh, you know, these are good fruit. And then a foreigner comes on, he's like, nah, this is crap. Let me take you to the good place. They take you to like the back alley shops, right, where you have like people putting random boxes down. You're like, oh, what's this? Why is there a spider on the fruit? I'm scared. And he's like, see this fruit? This is a good fruit.
You know what?
You look at it, like it looks like a normal fruit. You taste it, the best fruit you've ever had in your life.
So I want to do a little icebreaker. I'm kind of stealing this icebreaker from another show. Big up them. I think it's from Figuring It Out, but I'm not 100% sure. It could be them or another. But if it is, whoever's it is, big up Figuring Out and whatnot. But yeah, so basically, if someone was to make a movie of your life, yeah,
Yeah.
what would be like the starting credits? What would be the opening scene of the movie of your life?
The opening scene of the movie. I mean, a lot of first scenes start with context, don't they? So it'd have to be, I don't know, probably when I started playing rugby when I was little. There's probably nothing else interesting before that. You know what I mean? Like, it was just me being a little kid playing with my little brother and sister. That's it. But I don't know. I mean, my dad's from Brum, and we used to go before I started like nursery and stuff. We used to go to Birmingham a lot, like before I started school and that. So
Okay.
maybe a scene of us in Birmingham, or like traveling to Birmingham, or like being at my grandparents' house in Birmingham, something like that. Nothing interesting, just a little context scene.
Would it be like an episode of Star Wars where you have just like the
The whole
context
credits, and you just
just
spend 5 minutes reading. when
it's
it
just
comes
like
on.
slowly reading, and you're like you hold X just to fast forward it all the way. It turns like
Mm.
this is where I am.
No, you gotta read it. Do you not read it when you watch Star Wars?
Do you know what it is? Because I've played Lego Star Wars so many times, I always just like press X to go past it
No,
faster.
that's fair
I
enough.
read it to be fair more time, but yeah, no, I didn't read it when I was a youth though.
Couldn't read when I was a youth.
So
Still
we
can't.
maybe like in a nice way, you could say you could do like a car journey, and it's you in Birmingham, and then it's like all the way to London playing at Wasps or
Yeah.
something like that. Like
Yeah, something like that.
okay, so yeah, so you grew up where?
I grew up here. I grew up in London, West
Yeah.
London to be exact. I mean, I could go even more deeper. Acton, Ealing.
Yeah, and ethnicity.
Well, I'm Pakistani. I mean, the shirt
Oh,
makes it look
okay.
like I might be Jamaican or Australian, but I am indeed Pakistani.
Pakistani. Okay. So let's just get straight into it. How did you get into rugby?
So my dad played rugby when he was like back in school when he was a young adult. He obviously back then there was a lot of racism on brown people because it was coming out of the whole of black people into the racism of brown people because they were just coming to the country. So he was one of very few brown people that would play rugby. So he enjoyed the sport and continued. And when I turned 6 and was allowed to start playing, he took me down to Wasps, and yeah, we got started.
So far, we found out Osama started playing rugby before Tarek or myself, because I only started when I was about 12 or 12. Tarek started when he was about 24.
You're
I'm not-
24.
I'm not even that old yet.
Yeah. West man.
So Osama has a lot more experience of playing rugby
Yeah.
than Tarek and myself. And so tell us how the development of you starting at 6 years old going into secondary school playing rugby was. So obviously, back in those days when you were younger, you weren't allowed to do lifts in lineouts.
Yeah, I mean, when I was 7, it started at tag. We were playing tag until we were, 9 years old? You start contact? Oh, you started when you were 12, right? So it was tag rugby 6, 7, 8, like under 6, under 7s, under 8s, and then under 9s we start doing contact with. No, I think it's just contact. And then under 10s we start doing 3-man scrums, and lifting doesn't actually come until we're under 16s.
Yeah, I know. I remember the days I used to just literally stand there and jump and just swat it backwards.
I was throwing the lowest lineouts I've ever thrown in my life. Like,
Hey, you just projectile them straight there. It's
no,
fine.
literally, and whoever gets it first gets it. No tactics.
And you'll say like, look, it's not my fault he's taller than you. Like, what do you want me to do?
So how was it? Because obviously you played in school.
Yeah.
How was it different playing in school and playing in a club that you grew up in from when you were 6?
Well, I mean, I went to Twyford, so our home ground was at Wasps. Yeah. Our home ground was at Wasps, so all my home games were at Wasps, like,
Yeah.
regardless.
Dirty.
But-
Dirty school.
But, I mean, yeah, it was different because obviously Wasps had a bit more structure to it. So, obviously, we had a few parent coaches, namely my father, who would. Well, I mean, there was a league structure. There was, league matches and training at specific times. Whereas at school, Twyford's a state school, so not many people were into rugby, and yeah, we kind of just had to make a scrap team. Trained once every term, and the only games we actually got given were cup games. So we got entered into Middlesex Cup or Plate, and if you're knocked out, you get one game in the whole year.
Well, I remember when 2 years above you, we actually used to play Twyford quite often.
They must have been better than us. We wouldn't have played Gunnersbury.
Oh no,
My year, they would have beaten us very handsomely.
Yeah, nah, don't say that. We've both plummeted down into the abyss of just not playing rugby that well. Like, what was it? I saw a recent Instagram post, and those old school obviously don't know, but back in the days, the rugby kits when you're like not in the first team for state schools was just like a PE kit, and the PE kit for Gunnersbury was a thick cotton like jumper, the one that like the new age hipsters are wearing,
Oh,
and like
yeah.
start spot like you know,
Like a sweatshirt.
basically
Yeah,
a
yeah,
sweatshirt,
yeah.
like thick
With the
blue,
collar.
proper like a dark, not even niche, just fat blue, PHAT, fat blue, and the shorts, the classic thick rugby shorts that you have, and it's like you know that was just your PE kit, but that was also your rugby kit.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah,
then
yeah,
I saw
yeah.
like images of the year nines play. I'm like, bro, why are they wearing that kit? Don't we have funding for like new stuff? And he's like, nah, they're still using the kit you guys bought like 7 years ago for the first team. I was like, fair enough. Yeah, no, honestly, I've seen like social sides have better like strategies to get kit
Yeah.
versus state schools.
State schools love to save their money, don't they?
And then a state school would go to like a cup or like a tournament or like a sevens thing, and they'd be there stuck with like, you know, half the team not wearing anything matching. And then they'd come to like St. Benedict's or like Cardinal Vaughan or like, all the posh schools coming in, all the private schools, public schools, everything like that. Having kit bags, having, you know, having that one England under 18 player having Beats headphones on his head, walking through. You're like, that guy can't be a kid. Talking about that, have you ever like met someone that you looked at whilst you were playing your under 14s, under 15s, or under 16s? You looked at them, you're like, you can be a professional rugby player for all I know right now, and I'm being punked.
I mean, I've played against some big lads, but do you know what? The skill set of everyone is similar at that age. Like, everyone kind of just learns the same way, plays at the same level. You don't really advance your skill set until you get a bit older. But I mean, yeah, some of the big blokes are scary, especially when they can run fast.
It's just when you're like, oh, you weigh 120 kilograms, you're not that fast. Like, oh shit, why is my man running a 12-second 100 meter? Nope.
What kind of challenges did you face playing rugby growing up as a youth?
As a youth, so in my age group at Wasps, we had a very diverse team. So we kind of just gathered a lot of. I mean, it came by chance a little bit, and then a little bit of recruiting. But we had a predominantly like brown, black, and like Arab sort of team, and we obviously went up to. Obviously, it was Herts Middlesex leagues, and we used to go up to Hertfordshire a lot. And obviously, those guys are predominantly white teams, been brought up around white people, and we did have a few racial incidents, which caused some more hot-headed players in our team to react in
Talk
a way.
about yourself, yeah?
Do you know what? At that age, I was a bit.
Yeah, you were
bit
mellow.
more
You
relaxed
was mellow
about
when
it.
you was younger.
Not. I mean, I wasn't mellow, but there were other people who had different upbringings to me. Who, if someone said something to them, they would grab the nearest
Yeah.
thing as a weapon, kind of vibe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear
And
you.
that's not me. I just mouth off. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so you had to kind of keep a leash on those people, and sometimes people would say something, and we'd have to put complaints in because of racism, which was, I mean, not ideal, was it?
How did that affect your experience? And did it make you feel like playing more or less? Or
Honestly, we really didn't care. We just it happened, like it got sorted, and then next game, like these lads just loved playing rugby, hitting people, so they just wanted to, and it was good for them as well to get away from the other stuff they were doing in their free time. So the fact that we were actually playing rugby in some of their free time meant they weren't on the roads during the other parts of their free time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Even for like a social game such as rugby, you know, people say like, oh, you just go to rugby. And the one side of it is, as an adult, you see it as like you go to rugby, you socialize with your mates, you can decide to go get pissed up, going drinks and stuff like that. But as a young adult, you know, sports was always there like a regiment to kind of help youngers get through hard times. But growing up, obviously, because of who you are now, you don't drink, do you?
I don't know.
Whilst growing up, did you kind of have a negative, like, did it negatively impact you, the fact that growing up, getting to 18, you're like, wow, rugby's literally just filled with people just like going out, getting massively pissed on recreationals, everything after a game, and you're like, how is this a professional thing when I'm here watching 95% of my teammates get literally wrecked after a rugby game.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of keep myself out of that stuff, which can be kind of detrimental because, say, they're having a social but they're going to a bar. I'm like, sorry, I can't come. Or we're going to a social to do this. Or sorry, I can't make it. I religiously can't do that. And it kind of just puts you out of touch with your team a little bit. I'm having that issue at my new club where I do want to spend time and get to know my new teammates, but then again, I'm not gonna put my deen to the side.
Not gonna compromise your
not gonna
religion.
compromise my religion. I mean, even at Wasps, you guys know I don't come out and to the socials and stuff, and like people wanted to watch the Rugby World Cup at the pubs and stuff, and on the chat, but yeah, I can't do that. Sorry, and
Wouldn't know about that. I'm not in the rugby group chat.
you know that you've left it.
I left it a while. I was like, guys, I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm leaving. I'm happy I did though. Some of the stuff I've seen in the group chat vile.
Oh no,
Yeah, he posted something weird was posted today.
Something weird was posted today. That was horrid.
Literally,
Oh,
all I
goodness.
see is screenshots. I'm just like, thank God it's a screenshot. Okay, don't have to press it. It's like I'm not gonna press this one.
It's because of rugby group chats. I had to turn off save the camera all on WhatsApp.
Oh,
like,
100%.
Otherwise, I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't
It's
mind.
so
I wouldn't
true.
mind getting like dumb rugby or political like memes sent to me every other day. That's fine. But it's just the videos, and you're also like,
Something random.
do you know what the worst thing is? Like you watch the you see one of the videos. It was there like, I don't know if this actually happened at the rugby club or not. It just seems too real.
Yeah, yeah.
Because obviously, okay, now let's skip from being a minor, being under 18s to going to uni.
Wait, before we go there, I want to talk a bit about from being a minor to being an adult and playing senior rugby a little bit.
Okay, so under 18s, playing Colts and potentially playing first team men's at Wasps.
Yeah.
So my year 13, I was obviously that was probably our biggest year in rugby because obviously that whole youth side that we had was coming together. We had maybe 5 or 6 players playing for Middlesex. We had 4 players playing at Wasps Academy, 1 at Irish Academy, and it's like we had a very good side for a very mixed group of players. And yeah, I mean, I was asked to play for Wasps 2s in year 13. And we thought, why not? They need numbers. Why don't a few of us go and play for them? So I think 6 of us made our debuts for Wasps 2s. And that was cracking. I mean, we won. I remember it to this day. We won 17-7 against Witten. And I scored twice, which was great. And I thought, all right, so I can make the move to men's rugby. And because I turned 18 quite early, I'm a September baby, I could play front row. So I played hooker, which was also ideal. Playing with grown men who jump a lot higher, like
That actually jump.
that. Actually, I mean, no. To be fair, we had a 6'4" lad who would jump at the front for us, and I could get him quite high. But then when you get to actual men, like they just get each other higher as well because they
can actually
extend
lift.
their arm. They can actually lift. There you go. And yeah, I mean, I made my 2s debut, made my 1s debut a few weeks later, and I was playing men's and Colts rugby in year 13, plus school, plus Middlesex. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of rugby going on for me at that age.
Yeah.
So how did you get into Middlesex actually?
So Middlesex starts when youth starts, which is under 13s.
Okay.
So I got into Middlesex under 13s, and I also got into Wasps DPP, so like the Wasps like development player program.
Okay.
So I was part of both of those and playing, and then under 14s I got dropped from both, which was unfortunate.
How did you take that? How was that?
It was something that I didn't think should have happened, and there was a lot of, so it was kind of when Wasps were moving from London to Cov, so London Irish took over the whole Middlesex area, so the London Irish coaches came bringing the London Irish boys, and there was a lot of bias towards those lads. So I had to sit out a year, and then under 15s I didn't get in again, but then my dad was just like, that's not fair. And
There has to be something wrong.
and he was like, there's something wrong. They brought me in, and then I ended up starting at hooker for Middlesex just because they saw me play, and all the bias got taken out the window. So then 15, 16s, I was playing Middlesex. 16s, and I was still playing DPP 15 as well. And then 16, it got to actual Wasps Academy, and I didn't get in. And I mean, that was fair enough. Like, there's a lot of good lads.
I mean,
that
it's
been
a
playing
massive step up going
Mm.
from Middlesex County, DPP, to then going into academy, because academy is basically full time.
And it's like 3, whereas DPP was just in Middlesex, whereas when it goes to academy, all the Wasps regions come together, so Buckinghamshire, Oxfordshire, like all those lads come into one big Wasps academy squad, under 16s. So then I was playing Middlesex from 16, 17, 18, trying to get back into the academy, but it was difficult because also I was a bit of an idiot. I moved to centre, so I was trialing as a centre, and they had 4 centres and told me that I was the 5th choice. So if someone got injured, they would bring me in. But then we all kind of realistically knew that I'm not a centre, am I? I'm not tall enough, and hooker was my position. So I went back to hooker at 17 and just carried on there.
Well, I'm pretty sure you still have the skill set to play centre.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
I've seen you. I've seen you. I've seen you play. I've seen your kicking. I've seen your passing. I've seen everything there. And I'll be honest, a lot of the time when we did play together at Wasps, we did have a lot of players, a lot of coaching staff saying, "Just do your job."
Yeah.
And do you think that like kind of killing your creativity kind of cause you to like kind of be a bit down in playing rugby? Because obviously you'd go and play men's rugby, not a professional league, no, just social. You want to win, that's fine.
Counties 2 at Wasps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You played level 9, level 10, around that level.
Yeah.
And you'd want to be creative. You want to, show people like, yep, this is how I play rugby.
Yeah. It's also a fun thing for me. If I'm like, obviously I love my carries, I love my tackles, I love Jacqueline, I love doing my job, and I do my job most of the time. The reason they tell me to do my job is because they see me doing other things which they don't like for my position. But
I've never seen a hooker kick. I've never seen a hooker do a 25-meter pass.
I mean,
That's basically what they're thinking.
This guy takes all the penalties, bro.
No, but the thing is, that's what they're
Well, he does
thinking,
it
though.
good, he does it good,
but
though.
if people, the thing is, I will let the 10 and 12 kick for touch. But
Yeah.
if they're missing, I'll be like, bro, give it to me, innit? And more time they do. Like, they will. Like, the captain at Wasps, like Sam, he will literally want me to do it because he knows I have it, and he's got his head screwed on to, like, actually do that. And, like, other people, some coaches maybe don't like that. So I was playing 2s rugby last year while I was doing my final year of uni, which wasn't ideal because I was always told before I went to uni, I was always told, when you come back, we'll put you straight into the ones. Like when you come back, like, for a weekend, we'll put you straight in the ones. Like, we'll be happy with that. Like, we'll put you on the bench. Cool. I mean, I come back from uni and it's like, you're playing for the 2s. Like,
Yeah, I think that's just a lot of them were kind of hardwired to try and keep you around the club. But for me, I never had that bias. I'd always come back from uni. I'd be like, yeah, you're starting. I was like, oh, sweet.
yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of coming back to it. I'd always say, oh, if I was to ever go back to Wasps when I'm a bit older, I wouldn't want there to be like a sort of prejudice. Like, just don't make me pay my subs. That's the one thing I don't want to do.
I mean, you don't have to pay your subs if you go back to the level you play at now.
Exactly.
What's the rule now? If you
It's
play
level 6 and
6
above.
or above, you don't have to pay your subs at Wasps.
Exactly. So when I go back when I'm 30 years old, or 32, I don't know.
Is that your plan? 30, 32?
30. So basically,
I was
next.
thinking 28, 29. I might go back to Wasps.
The last golden years.
Yeah.
I'll do 5. I'm hoping 5 more years of playing this level rugby, get promoted 3 times, go championship.
Yeah.
Realistically,
the dream.
realistically, level 5, level 4. I'm content with that.
Yeah. I mean, you lot are looking to get promoted this year.
Yeah, we're
Sam
playing
nicely top of the table. You're playing OPs tomorrow, aren't you?
OPs tomorrow.
Yeah.
Old Priorians. I think they're 3rd in the table.
They're doing well. My mate plays for them. He used to go to Benny's. So.
Of course, he went
Those
to
guys from OP.
most.
from
Yeah,
Benny.
no.
But OPs is Benny's old boys.
Oh,
Exactly.
fair,
I think Matt Delagi was meant to be in Old Peas, but I think he's injured.
Okay, yeah. You know Joe Simpson?
I know Joe Simpson.
He played 1 game for them, and then disappeared.
Do you know what I find interesting? Billy 12tree is playing
At Ealing.
at
yeah.
Ealing.
There's a rugby goss.
Right, the Norse.
West London's what we're here for.
Exactly.
That's where I'd love to see them in the Prem.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. But it's
Apparently
just
apparently they might be going to the URC.
URC.
Who?
Yeah. Ealing.
What?
Apparently Ealing and Wasps are in talks to go to the URC. because obviously, I mean, the RFU is in a bit of tatters right now, isn't it?
Mate, rugby will cease to exist in this country in the next 10, 15 years. There won't be a professional sport.
If it keeps going the way it is.
That's why we just got up the rugby league. Always the rugby league.
Yeah, man.
So let's get back onto topic.
Oh wait, just one quick question. Sorry.
Don't apologize. Go for it.
No, anyone important? Any factor? Any important person in your rugby playing career growing up as a youth? Anyone that shaped you that has had a big impact?
I could probably name two. One's obviously got to be my old man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, my old man's been. That man does not miss any games. The only time he'll miss a game is if he's got, I don't know, away on a business trip or somewhere like doing something. But
his hands are completely tied.
Exactly. But he is always there for me watching rugby. He will watch every game I'm at. He will, even if he doesn't want to be there, he'll turn up 10 minutes before the game, like without me. I'll drive myself. He'll turn up 10 minutes before, watch the game, leave without saying anything to me. Like, he'll chat to me when I'm home. Like, that's how much he wants to watch me play.
That's it.
It's like,
and who's the other person then?
who's the other one? I mean, someone that you guys know very well as well. Martin. He was
Martin Crossman.
when I joined Middlesex under-13s. He was the coach, and 14s, 15s, 16s, he wasn't the coach, and then 17s, 18s, he's the one that got me. He's the one that advanced my game for me to play well for Middlesex, to get London and South East, and then I mean, I don't know, maybe if I didn't get concussed, push on to England counties, but he did get me to the level where I needed to be.
Yeah.
And then obviously the season after, he came to Wasps.
And you were like, oh. And
you
to be
are.
fair,
I knew it was in progress. So
to be fair, Martin did tell me like, yeah, no, I've done a lot of work with Ossama. I was like, well, yeah, you were Middlesex, so.
And it was very different as well, because obviously we're minors when we're Middlesex youth, so he's not allowed to be his complete self. Whereas when we get to men's, he's allowed to do and say whatever he pleases.
Exactly.
And then you get to see what an even better coach he actually is.
Yeah, Martin's a great guy, man.
Yeah.
I miss
Yeah.
Martin.
Quick
I
one.
miss him at Wasps as well, yeah.
Quick one. Did you take that out of the fridge, the Sprite?
Yeah, it's the last one.
Oh.
He was saving that.
No.
You said there were no more, and
I didn't. I thought there were no more left.
Yeah, I know, but you lied to me.
I didn't lie to you.
Mistakenly.
I just didn't know. And you took the last one.
Yeah,
That was cans of Cokes.
I like Sprite more.
Ah. Can't believe that.
Coke over Sprite, mate.
Pepsi,
I mean, not in
Pepsi Max.
general.
Bebsy Max over everything.
Yeah,
Pepsi Max
yeah.
Ooh.
I love me some of that.
So
Here
move
we've had it. We've had your dad's a brief history of your dad playing rugby. You started to play rugby when you're 6, or starting to being allowed to play rugby being 6, going into playing tag 6, 7, 8 years old, and when you're at 9, finally starting getting some contact in, being the lowest throwing hooker in the league for a couple of years because no one was allowed to jump, being at Wasps, being in the DPP program, being at Middlesex, being taken out and then being put back in, going into being a centre, then being like, do you know what? I have the skills, but sack that, going back to playing a hooker. And now we had you playing your first twos game where you won 17-7 against Witten, scoring 2 tries. And now we're going to go into the next stage of your life, which is important for every rugby player if you're not in academy or into anything like that, going to uni.
Yeah.
So, like we said at the beginning, you went to the same uni I did, which was Loughborough. And whilst you were there, they've implemented a 5th team.
Was there only 4 teams when you were there?
I'm not that old, eh? Nah, there was only 4 teams when I was there.
4 teams, including the Nat2 side.
Yeah.
So we have 6 teams then.
We have Snap 2 side doesn't count. They're more of an eyesore than anything. Okay, no, they're not.
No,
It was 5 teams in total, with the first team and the Bucks, with the first team and the national team basically being interlinked with each other.
But they put out different squads every week.
Yeah, they do. And then having another Bucks 2s, Bucks 3s, and Bucks 4. And when Ossama was there, having Bucks 5.
Yeah.
So during the first year, your first year of uni, you get to Loughborough, and what's the first thing you notice about the sports there?
Heavy. There's a lot of sports there. There's a lot of sporting facilities. There's everyone's there. It's just that entire town is just full of athletes, and it's amazing. it's just obviously I'm a sporty guy. Like growing up, I played rugby, cricket, football, just anything I could get my hands on, like I would play. So having a sporty place where I could go to the stadium and watch a football game, where I could just sit on the lawn and watch the cricket, and then also play rugby myself, like it was ideal.
And during your first year at Loughborough, you didn't make it onto the rugby team. Am I correct?
I didn't. How do you know that?
You told me.
Oh, did I?
You told me, yeah. The thing is, though, it was being a hooker. It's not like being a prop second rower, a flanker, or back rower, 9, 10, 5. Like, there's only one hooker
Yeah.
per starting lineup. And you mentioned it to me a while ago that the competition was heavy for being a hooker.
It was.
For some odd reason, it was like, yep, hookers this season we found a lot of them. And yeah, no, what was it like trialing for Loughborough?
So I went to the trial injured, but I did the warm up, and as I was doing the warm up, I felt a little twinge in my knee, and I thought, okay, I'm not gonna trial. So I sat out that trial, and then the second trial was a game based trial, so they put everyone into teams, and you might even play out of position in your team, but you play, and they just see your rugby. And so I played in that. I played maybe 20 minutes because I didn't do the first trial, so I came off the bench for whatever my team was at the time, and played about 20 minutes. Played all right, not enough clearly to show that I could get in. So I didn't get in, and yeah, that was it.
How did you deal with that setback and the disappointment of not getting in?
I first obviously spoke to my father about it, and then I actually did message Martin. I told him that I didn't get in and what I should do next, and he suggested I join a local club. So I then went and played for Loughborough FC. I was playing in muddy Midlands conditions, which was horrid, but
Less than ideal.
not very much. Yeah, exactly.
Always good
Then-
for a hooker to have muddy ball 24/7.
Exactly. Got to got to get my subs to carry towels around so I can dry the balls these days.
And it's not even that. The hooker, even if he throws a good ball, if the second rows or the back rows can't catch it in the air, it's the hooker's fault.
Nah, I get a bit more power than that. I shout at my second rows and flankers. If they drop the ball and I throw a nice straight one, that's on them.
You're like, mate, come on. I'm
I'm
doing
not-
you a favour here.
No, exactly. But also with Loughborough, they have a very strong halls.
IMS,
IMS.
intramural sports.
Yeah, there you go. So how it is there's 17 halls at Loughborough. So each hall has a team, and I was in Kaylee. What hall were you in?
I was in the towers.
Were you?
Yeah.
I've never been inside towers.
I've been inside towers many a times because I lived there.
Well, yeah, for sure.
2 years. On the
Second year as well.
I was a sports secretary for the second year.
Were you now?
It was terrible.
Towers look scary.
Honestly, the 19th floor isn't that bad.
Oh yeah,
The second floor is pretty bad.
I can imagine.
Whilst I was still single and brisk in my young age, I persuaded a young lass to come back with me. I was like, yeah, I'll show you the top floor of towers. And she's like, oh, so what did you say? Second floor. She just left straight away. She was like, I came to sleep on the top floor in towers. If you're not there, I'm leaving. And I was like, ¿qué pasa?
Oh, she had some standards. Didn't
She has some, yeah. It didn't,
No, no one below 16th floor.
no one below 16th floor. I was like, but I'm 6'1". So is everyone else. Dang, you're right. We go to Loughborough. I forgot that. Oh gosh.
Do you know what it is? When I was wearing my AU stash in Loughborough, like everyone would look at you like nice. But then you come to London, I'm wearing my AU stuff in the gym. No one bats an eyelid. It's like,
Why is this saying Loughborough Students' Union Rugby? What is that? I was like, I don't know. It's like, why are you wearing purple? It's not purple. It's African violet.
African violet. Mate.
They drilled that into your head, eh? It's like,
They do.
honestly,
they love the AV up there.
they love the AV.
Have you seen the new kit for this year? The AU kit.
No, I haven't.
It looks very nice. I wish I was
Ooh.
wearing that last year. Oh my god.
In all
it was so
honesty, I
good.
think the cookery before you came in,
Yeah.
it was very soft. It was like
Was it?
way softer. Like they kind of transitioned to make it a bit more like smooth as, like a bit more like thinner.
Yeah, the kit we wore last year was the new ones. Those are nice.
Yeah,
Well-
don't like the colors though. Before it was African violet and white, then they changed into African violet and like grey.
Oh yeah, it's grey now. Yeah, it's like grey shorts, white top. But
Gre-
it's always a white top throwaway kit, right?
How does a white shirt and grey bottoms go together?
You'd be surprised.
They're not colours. They're shades.
Yeah, that's true. But they do, like, I mean, I was wearing it. I thought. It
Oh
looked
yeah,
nice
fair
together.
enough.
It
Cool.
was like grey socks, grey shorts, and then the white top with like grey trims on it,
Mm.
which is quite nice.
So going into Loughborough, what do you think about their social side, like their actual socializing, everything, going out, drinking, like
The social side of what, like sports, or just the social life in the town?
social life of sports. We don't care about your actual social life. We care about sports related
So you're
social
talking
life.
about Wednesday nights.
Hey you,
Hey
hey
you.
you.
I did go to hear you a couple times, but obviously that's not really my kind of vibe. I'm not really into the whole clubbing culture, but yeah. I mean, I didn't really socialize that much. I did freshers. I made my friends, and then we all just kind of hung out with each other. That was kind of what our vibe was. But I mean, I went to Firefly a couple times.
Tarek's just confused. These are
Firefly is a bar slash club, but not really. But
it's not worth your time to. You shouldn't. Nah, Loughborough's
nowhere in Loughborough's worth your time. Man.
exactly. Do you know what?
Except for the gym.
This man knows what he's talking about.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the only time I ever went out in Loughborough was to get a takeaway from somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
But,
And
yeah.
what did you think about the rugby team socials? Do you think they were kind of like degrading to some extent?
I didn't go to them because I'm not involved.
You're not
I'm
involved.
not involved in that stuff, mate.
My
I mean, we went up to. The only time I had a kind of an inkling of, because I know what goes on. We all know what goes on in rugby socials.
We've all seen the
especially
internet.
at uni, right? And I mean, we had last November. It's coming up to a year now. We had a fixture up in Dundee, so
What, Scotland?
in Scotland, yeah. So we
Okay.
left on the Tuesday about 10 a.m. We left to go up to Edinburgh, and we had the netball threes girls sat in the back, and we were there doing our quizzes and stuff just on the journey up. It was World Cup time, so I was iPad in front of me watching Argentina, Saudi Arabia. It was at the time the one that Saudi won 1-0. Remember that very vividly.
Oh, great
But,
game.
very good game. And these lot were just doing what they do, and I was like, this way up's fine. The way back is gonna be the one that's not so fine.
It sets apart the boys from the men.
No, for sure. But anyways, played the game, came back from Dundee to Edinburgh to pick up the girls, and these lot were in their kilts, the dudes, by the way, in their kilts, no boxers,
Yeah, of course.
flying around the bus, like on the way from. I mean, didn't actually go to Dundee. The game got changed to St Andrews.
Oh.
So we played at St Andrews, and then we came back to Edinburgh. And in that journey, I was sat around the boys, and I felt so uncomfortable, just because, like, I'm not drunk, so I can't enjoy this. This isn't fun for me.
It's not even that. I think even when I was intoxicated, I feel like some of the things the boys would do on the coaches on the way back, it just when you look back at it, you're like, this is actually pretty revolting.
Yeah.
It's like I fell asleep on the floor of the coach once. I woke up and the first thing that gets dashed in my face is just like dark fruit strongbow. And you're like,
Get
this
that
is
down, yeah.
get it down, yeah. And you're like, this isn't that appetizing. This isn't that like I don't want the first thing that I do is to start drinking.
Yeah, after you've passed out.
What
especially.
was that like from a religious perspective? Because it's such a big contrast being around
Yeah.
this alcohol and people
Do you know
intoxicated.
What? Do you know what though? I'll give it to them. Those boys really respected me. They, I don't know, say these lot love getting in the showers together, right? I'm not doing that, am I? So they'll respect me by just leaving me out of all of their antics. It's like they were a good bunch of lads to me. So they had their fun, whatever they wanted to do, but then they kept me out of it as much as they could, just because. And honestly, that's what made my friendships with them, because I still speak to those boys now. I still have them on social media. Obviously, we wouldn't be in the same friendship groups because my friendship groups aren't like that, but we have an understanding, like a mutual respect to each other, and I really appreciate them for that,
So-
because they made me feel comfortable in a place where it wasn't my kind of scene.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That must have really made your experience a lot easier.
A lot easier. I mean, it helps when you're
considering.
helps when you're playing well as well.
Yeah.
It's like we're not
You
gonna.
reckon if you didn't play well,
What
Or you
if I
didn't
was?
play, like, if you didn't play well, do you reckon that would have affected how they treated you, or do you think it's a mad question when you think about it?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, a lot of the respect came from that, from playing for Pakistan. 'Cause they come
Oh,
up to me like. So one time I was unwell and didn't go to training, and then the next training session, or not even the next training session, like we went to watch like the Nat 2 team on Saturday, and everyone's coming up to me like, Ossama, you play for Pakistan, you play for Pakistan, and I'm like, how do you guys just know this all of a sudden? So apparently my coach started went and told everyone when I wasn't at training that I played for Pakistan. It's like he used to love it. My coach, he was maybe like 23, 24, but he was the 4s and 5s coach at Loughborough, and he used to love the fact that I played for Pakistan. He'd go on and on about it, but I mean, yeah, I made a lot of friends through those initial conversations, them coming to me speaking about that, and then I meet other people that maybe were in the 5s that I wouldn't play with, but I would train with, and that kind of stuff. But
so like if we go back to the start of the interview, this conversation that we're having, interview conversation, whatever you wanna.
Nice little chat, nice little tallywag with the boys.
Link up thing, yeah. So you talked about how in your current club now, you kind of had some not issues, but like difficulties.
I mean, they're not issues.
Not
They're
issues,
more-
not issues.
Yeah, they're more me wanting to fit in, but I'm not getting that in yet.
So
If that
how
makes sense.
how was it? How would you compare like what you're currently dealing with now at your current club to when you were at uni?
I mean, at uni, everyone's kind of going through the same thing, if that makes sense. Like, we're all the same age. We're all, say, in freshers.
Yeah.
With meeting no one, meeting new people. Everyone's meeting everyone for the first time. And whereas here at Welsh, everyone knows each other already. So you're kind of like, have you seen those memes on Insta that say when you're entering a new job, it's like coming into season 6 of a series? That's kind of what it feels like, because
That's sick. That's so sick.
that's kind of what it feels like. Because obviously, I mean, if you guys don't know about the history of London Welsh, they used to be a Premiership team.
Yeah.
Obviously, went bankrupt 2013, I think it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I don't know. I mean, it's probably like an open thing, so I'm allowed to say it. But they have this thing called Project Reset,
Yeah.
which is still undergoing right now. So
Well, they started at the very bottom of the pyramid.
yeah,
They just reset everything. A lot of the players left,
yeah.
but a few of the hard ones are like, yeah, no, we'll stay.
I
And
think
they've
Project Reset was more of a. It's like a 10-year plan, I think.
well,
And
they're currently on year 10. They've done pretty well.
Yeah.
Or how many?
Then maybe it's not yet. I mean, I think actually it might have been more than 10 years. But the plan was like, and it's all going to plan so far. So it was like they were going to do 5 promotions, then a settling season, and then plan to get promoted again. So they got promoted 5 times. Last season they settled in Regional 1, and then the plan says to get promoted again this year. And I mean, we're currently sat in 3rd.
But it's still early doors anyway.
It's still early.
Because you only have
Still early
have
in the
one
season.
loss.
It's still early in the season. We have 2 losses.
Okay, so
How
I'm
many
not up to
games?
date.
Yeah, we lost last week.
Ah,
I was playing for the 2s that day, but yeah, we did lose. Ones did lose last week to Havant, who are top of the table.
we
It was. Do you know what's unfortunate? We were 22-14 up at
Yeah.
half time, and they scored 13 unanswered points in the second half.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess you
That's
say.
frustrating.
I guess you could say you haven't seen that one before
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
because the team's called Haven't.
Oh, you're away.
That was a good one, to be fair.
Nah, that flew straight over the
Nah,
dome.
that's me as well. mate.
No, it's too smart for us.
Anyways,
You know what? So now that you've brought it up, Mr. International, get that Jamaica shot.
get the Jamaica shirt. Oh gosh.
Oh, you should have seen. They gave us this one green shirt. That was
Here's your Jamaica
so
shirt.
nice, but they didn't let us keep it.
Oh,
This was like the second time I went.
it's like a Spider-Man suit.
Yeah.
You unlock it after catching all 50 balls in the area.
You gave it to me. What do you want me to do?
No, just hold it up.
Okay, T, you grab one corner, I'll grab the other corner.
Don't cover my face though. Got a trim for this.
Oh, thank you. So
The green what? The green machine.
Green machine.
he is
It's
just
like the moon and star on the sea.
Yeah,
sounds like a good smoothie, eh?
yeah. Sounds like something with spinach and kale, and
What would you put?
Health smoothies.
Health smoothies.
Joe and the juice kind of thing.
Yeah, we can leave that.
Yeah.
Let's leave it right
so
there.
you know what? How did it come about playing for Pakistan? How did that come about?
Right. So I just started uni,
Yeah.
and something came up on Facebook. It was like calling international players to come and play for Pakistan. And me and my dad looked at it like, what on earth is this? My dad actually tagged me in it. It was like, what on earth is this? Like, Pakistan is a rugby team? No way. So obviously I signed up. I sent in my rugby CV, sent them clips, like whatever they asked for. They asked for a lot of things. They asked for many clips.
They ask for your bank details, your passport
Mate, they
pictures.
might as well have the amount of money they take from us, but but
It's a joke. It's a joke. We're joking. We're
it is
joking.
all a joke. But yeah, so I signed up to it, and then they invited me over. So this was my first year of uni, so right before COVID. So this got all got organised in November, December, and on the 30th of January, right after first semester exams, I flew out to Pakistan.
What 2020?
2020, yeah.
Okay.
It was 2020. And then, yeah, flew out, joined in with camp. It was actually really good. The coach was amazing with me. He was actually setting me up to start at 7 at Openside. And then we get an obviously the COVID stuff thing. Like when I went to Pakistan that 30th of Jan, they were taking my temperature at the airport. And I'm like, what on earth are they doing? Like I knew about COVID already, of course, but like obviously we hadn't seen any of it in the UK yet. So I'm just there like, damn.
You
like,
are patient zero.
what have I come to? Like, what's going on here? But yeah, we got we got a text message saying, oh, the teams that are supposed to be coming over to Pakistan to play in these internationals can't make it, so we've had to postpone it. And I'm just like, I've just paid so much money to be here. Like, what do I do now? So I had to fly back after having maybe 4 or 5 training sessions, and
Pandemic.
pandemic happened. So obviously there was no sports for a very long time.
This is when the TV screen just like starts doing white noise, and then we have to ask the question: how are you feeling without rugby?
How was I feeling without rugby? It wasn't ideal. Honestly, I just played PlayStation, watched TV, and ate food, man.
There's nothing else to do during the pandemic.
It's so annoying because I did well. Like in my year 13 year, I lost like 12 kg. Was in the best shape of my life going into my London and South East trials and all that, and then went into uni looking good still, and then I got fat again.
Hey man, you still look good. Don't worry.
I'm trying to get to the best body of my life again, but
Hey,
it's,
man.
it's a work in progress
You're still young. It's fine.
for sure.
So you had basically a year and a bit out of rugby.
Year and a half, basically, isn't it? Because we lost this season.
That's the bit.
Oh.
Which also made not playing for Loughborough not the worst thing in the world. 'Cause I didn't miss out on much rugby in my first year, because obviously they were all not playing rugby.
Yeah.
But
Then
then,
it was kind of a cushion to the disappointment.
exactly.
But still disappointing, nevertheless.
I mean, disappointing that I had to come back from Pakistan when I was set to start in a test match, which is something I still haven't done to this day.
Well, look at it this way. You got the shirt. That's all that matters.
Exactly. Come back with the stash, can wear it to the gym.
Exactly.
A lot of people, whenever we've got a Pakistan training top, like a white one, and I use that as a gym shirt. And whenever I'm in the gym and some Pakistani person sees me, they will look at me like, it'll become a whole conversation. Like, Pakistan has a rugby team. No way, I never knew that. That's so amazing. Like I know cricket and hockey, but rugby? It's like, yeah.
What's the rugby culture like in Pakistan?
Those dudes are exactly like me, you know. Like we'll go training, like do hard training, and bro, the training there, they put you through it. They make you do fitness 2 days before match day. I don't know what they're doing, but it doesn't work. but after but I mean, also the 2 times I've went, it's been 46, 47 degrees.
Yeah, no, you guys train you guys train as the sun is going down. It makes
Yeah.
the pictures look very nice on Instagram.
It does. Do you know what? We train at sunrise and sunset. So the 3 hours after sunrise and the 3 hours after sunset. That's when we train. Because it's obviously the least hot in the day when they're still light. So yeah, it's hot, it's tough, but then you're saying the rugby culture, like the boys will get in the boys' cars, we'll go to this like dry fruit and ice place, or like
I've seen the Instagram. I think it was on one of your most recent ones where it was the evening and all I see is like, bro, that's a lot of food in front of you.
yeah,
Just the massive fee, eh?
do you know what it is? Because us, obviously, the foreign lads that come, the
Yeah.
food for us is cheap there. So we're gonna try all the fancy restaurants because it's still cheap for us. It's the same as going and getting a Mackey's. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we just eat and eat and
yeah,
eat.
no, I understand that because whenever I go back to Serbia, buying getting a Mackey's or getting like traditional Serbian food, it's like it's cheaper to get traditional Serbian food,
Yeah,
and it's better tasting as well, in my opinion.
I mean, for me, it's whenever I go to whenever I go to a Muslim country or Muslim-ish country, the first thing I'll do is go get a Mackey's, just because halal Mackey's. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, we're not having Mackey's at the moment because of the current political situation.
Oh, but yeah.
But nevertheless, yeah.
What were the dynamics like for the the foreign Pakistanis and the native Pakistanis?
So you could actually split the native ones off into their own groups as well. So there's a team that's in the capital, in Islamabad.
Yeah.
Then there's two teams in Lahore, or maybe like two teams in Lahore, one team like just a bit outside of Lahore, and then the army.
Yeah.
So with the army in Pakistan, you can either be a soldier, which soldiers get deployed, go through all the training and everything, or you're an athlete. So if you're an athlete, an army athlete for a specific sport, you still get paid your wages, but you don't have to be a soldier.
So imagine that, like, you're like, you should join up the army and everything. Like, look, do you want to go play rugby, or like, do you want to go into the field? You're like,
I want to play sports, please.
I want to play sports, please. Thank you very much.
But yeah, so their army like kind of regiment will be them in their sport. So but the thing is, those lads are fit. They can run for days.
Didn't you have like a flanker who was about like 2+ meters tall? Your captain,
Our flanker, who's,
or is he the second rower?
to be fair, we have one second row. He is not good at rugby at all. But this guy is just tall. He must be like 6'7", 6'8", and he's. I mean, these lot are actually out playing sevens right now. Asia Rugby Sevens Championship. So they're in Qatar right now playing. They beat Nepal this morning, and then they got battered by Thailand. And then day 2 is tomorrow.
By Thailand.
By Thailand.
Mm.
Yeah.
Unlucky, eh? Serbia don't do that. Serbia just play European sevens and sometimes wins. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
We played sevens for Serbia.
No.
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 The thing is with Pakistan, they don't invite foreign people over for sevens.
Yeah, because there's no point. In terms of like,
I mean, there was a 5-week camp though, so
Oh, yeah.
which is the same as for 15s. So if
yeah, but I
someone
feel
wants
like
to
it's
play
because
seven-
they have 7. They can have. It's easier to build up the 13, 14 odd players to play sevens than is to invite foreigners and to get them to do it instead.
but they ain't good.
It's not about being good or bad. It's about win or lose.
But you have to be winning. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's different. Like, say I don't know, playing here for amateur, like cool, like you want to involve everyone, have fun. Whereas over there, that's an international team. Like you should be looking for the advancement of the country, not all the little politics within the sports. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
How does that make you feel knowing that like the only reason you're not being played is because of politics?
I mean, shall I spell it out for you? There's
Please.
4 selectors, coach, manager. The coach and the manager, our coach is from South Africa. Our manager is his bestie, but he's also got a lot of power, right? And all 4 selectors had me as their first choice hooker. But then the coach and the manager seemed to have me as their third choice hooker. So they both obviously get the final say, and they didn't put me in any of the matchday squads this time round. So I went there, trained. So they gave me. So that when I asked to come back, because obviously you ask, they don't invite you back. You ask to come back.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
They said we'd love for you to come back. There's only two things you need to improve on: your speed and your fitness. So basically, they're just telling me stop being fat.
But you're a hooker, eh?
Yeah, but you can still be fitter. Do you know what I mean? Like,
You can always be fitter.
so in January this year, I worked my socks off. I lost 12 kg in 4 months. Put on about 15 kg of muscle mass.
You do love the 12 kg, don't you?
Yeah,
12 kg in the year 13.
12 kg this year. It's weird. It's weird. But like,
Maybe a pandemic coming next year. Who knows?
you know
Like,
what? Back then, I went from 90 to 78. This time, I went from 110 to 98. So,
bro, mate, you might
Yeah.
just you might this is the start of pandemic number 2, in my opinion. Now, it's all
Might be.
coming together. You're gonna go to Pakistan this time round again, fittest you've ever been in your life. It's gonna be like, oh yeah, COVID 2.0 has resurged, and we're not gonna have a great time. It's
I'll
like
come back
wonderful.
and get fat again.
Oh,
So-
don't.
Standard wise, what was it saying compared to like the rugby you've played here, playing internationally? Because it's not like it's a tier 1 nation or something. It's a nation like
It's tier 20 nation. Do you know what it is? Physically, these guys have it.
yeah.
But
You
they
mean
get-
fitness wise or like size?
both.
Okay.
They are. You look at them, you think, yes, rugby players, like cool, but the skill set isn't there.
You sure you're not talking about Serbia?
Skill set isn't there. But like, I don't blame the boys. It's not the boys' fault. They work. They help. Their work ethic is unbelievable. They want to improve as players. They want to win. What's holding them back is, I mean, I'm allowed to say this stuff on video just because I'm not going to be invited back because of some things that have happened. But it's the higher ups. They are holding these boys back from advancing. There's so much politics going on within. It's like the same as what the Pakistani government is right now
Yeah.
is happening throughout all sectors of Pakistan. And the one that I'm involved in is rugby, so I can speak on that. The higher ups are ruining rugby in Pakistan.
Hey, it's just an opinion. You can speak freely. It's fine.
These lot, they do not care about the betterment of. They don't care about the betterment of the players. They literally will bully the players, beat them to the ground. They do not care about them as individuals. They do not care about them as a collective. They just care about getting a team out that will listen to everything that they say. And not everything that they say in terms of like these tactics, everything that they say in terms of like, I'm the boss of you. Do you know what I mean? Like they want to be in charge and have that control. Whereas sometimes you just need to put your arm around the players and just be like, do this better, you need to go work on this, rather than treat them like,
Or not even to be like, it wasn't your fault. Just, that happened, not because of your lack of skills. It's because of the unreadiness of other players. For example, like your skill set when you're playing on twos here, was way above the level of the players around you. And obviously, if you have a winger who's fresh out the stables, doesn't know how to really play rugby that well, and they get a spiral pass from the midfield, then they're going to be like, I wasn't expecting that. But then again, like, look, it's always good to speak out about your opinions about everything. And
I mean, I did speak out to my coaches, which is probably why I won't be invited back.
How did you feel like, because I mean you're quite in an isolated situation of being all the way in Pakistan, however many hours away, time zones away, but then like having what you're there for be affected by things out of your control. How did you deal with that kind of stuff? How did that affect you mentally?
I mean, I'm mentally quite strong, and
Yeah.
you guys know me. I will, if something annoys me or if someone annoys me, I will tell them. Like I will.
with his words or his actions.
Yeah.
Action.
Action. It was a one-time thing.
It was a
one-time.
It was a one-time thing, a one-time bang, straight to the face.
Well, that was after the game. What about the one time during the game?
I got sent off for something that I did not do. That was.
I only heard the stories of that one. To be fair, I wasn't there.
Ref said that I punched him in the face, but that just did not happen. And then
Oh,
I went to my disciplinary, and they just said the ref was in the wrong, and I missed a few weeks of rugby for absolutely no reason.
It was look, if I punched him in the face, he wouldn't be here right now. He'd be out. He'd be cold in hospital. That's it. I was like, so why are you here? It's like, dunno.
He probably would have been, man. I'm not gonna punch someone in the face for no reason.
Exactly.
We've deviated a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. What were we saying?
No problem. But yeah.
Oh, the mental part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, so like I said, after the 2 games, I'll be honest, I stuck it on the coaches. I stuck it on them too, the coach and the manager. I just told them how it was. Do you know what it is? The boys absolutely despise them because they're both
Really?
They're bullies. They are bullies, but they will never speak out. So I had to stick up for them while also sticking up for myself. And the manager decided to speak ill of my father, decided to speak ill of so many things that he just should not have said. And I was just sticking facts on them. And they couldn't take to the fact that someone was going against their agendas, someone was going against what they wanted, and
Especially a young individual, like
I'm the youngest in the squad, like
exactly.
like I'm the little baby, but I know that I had to stick up for my teammates because they're ignorant. The manager said to me, "You're the only one that shows us disrespect. The boys will never do this to us." Bro, the boys are scared to say anything. These lot talk so much about how good rugby would be if you guys did not have any involvement in it. Like when he said that to me, I understood a lot more than I did before I started getting onto them, because I thought they knew that they were disliked and that some people have referred to it as a cancer to Pakistan rugby, but I didn't know that they didn't know until he said that to me. So they're ignorant in thinking that they're liked, that they're respected, but they are not respected. They just listen to them because they have the power to kick people out if they do things like what I did.
And it's kind of hard as well, because I'm assuming in Pakistan that if you get blacklisted from playing rugby for the national team, you're also going to get blacklisted playing rugby in like clubs as well.
Mate, I will turn up and play with my boys, but they can't stop me from doing that, can they? They can stop me from being in the national team, but they don't coach the clubs there. So you're talking about those guys there.
Yeah.
If they said something, yeah, they probably would be. It's just
it's not like for you, because obviously for you, if they chat, if they say stuff, you'll be like, bro, no one's gonna listen to you in England, like F off.
no, exactly.
But obviously, if the boys there, they're kind of scared because they're like, look, rugby's a major thing in our lives, and if we say or do something against these coaches, they can go to every other team because in the vicinity, because obviously there's not that many teams in Pakistan.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few, to be fair, but there's only 5 in the Prem.
Yeah,
Five
the
teams.
5 Prem teams, because obviously wherever you are, you always want to play the top level rugby in your area.
Yeah.
And currently in Pakistan, it's the Prem there. And if you're turn around to the national team coach and be like, look, you guys, a bunch of insert curse words, F this, F that, you guys suck. They'll be like, cool, okay, enjoy not playing Prem anymore. You're like, what?
No, 100%. That's exactly. I mean, my dad said something to me because obviously I called my dad as soon as I did what I did, and he said, "Okay, make sure you get out of the country safely." It's like, just be careful, okay? And I was like, "Yeah, of course."
There are spies everywhere.
Yeah, because I did actually say a lot of things.
How did that affect like the group dynamics?
I didn't
having
do it.
a-
I didn't do it. In front
Not
of
not
us.
you. I mean like, not what happened
Yeah, no,
between
sorry,
you and the
continue, sorry,
coaches.
continue.
I mean like between like with playing with players that were so fearful of the coaches and what they could do. And
Okay, so you know what I was getting onto earlier about the different. We did deviate from that, just like the army.
Yeah.
From the capital, the different teams, they have their own little cliques.
Yeah.
So they all secretly hate each other, but they're fake to each other's faces. But then they're also sometimes real to each other's faces about how much they hate each other. So they're
Okay.
all like, and then obviously as the foreign lads, we're friends with all the individual groups. So sometimes we'll hang out with the army boys. Most of the time we'll be with the Islamabad boys because they're like, obviously we're in Lahore, so they're also traveling. So if we're in a hotel, we'll be with the Islamabad boys, and then the army boys stay in army camp, like somewhere else, because we don't want to stay where there's no Wi-Fi and air conditioning and stuff. So we stay in the hotel with the Islamabad. So like, we get to see everyone's opinions. So, and then I don't think these lot know how much these lot hate each other.
Oh god.
So, but then we do. 'Cause
Oh, trust me.
they tell us like, yeah, this guy's dead, this guy's dead. But then everyone's opinions are different to everyone's opinions, and they're all different to my opinions as well. I'm just thinking like I disagree with you, but I'm not going to say anything.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, I know. It was very interesting because obviously they open up to you being foreign players, like, because they see you as not. And the thing is, I wouldn't snake anyone, so I wouldn't. If someone said something about someone else, I wouldn't be like, "This is what they think of you," because they probably think the opposite of them.
But they already kind of know that everyone has different opinions of everyone else. So you saying this, the most like surface level stuff right now, isn't going to get anyone in trouble.
No, exactly.
Were there any challenges you faced being a foreign Pakistani player, and not just you, but other foreign Pakistani players?
I mean, not any major challenges I can think of. Obviously, it's difficult going to somewhere where the culture's very different. The people live in a different way, and obviously with the whole situation in the world going on right now in terms of like the cost. I mean, obviously the cost of living crisis here, but like in Pakistan, the situation's not ideal.
No.
So people are spending less money. They're a bit more conserved, and it's. I mean, it's difficult. Obviously, especially like. I mean, I wouldn't say my family are wealthy, but coming from the UK to Pakistan,
It's a big step up.
You are considered rich with the money you have.
For sure.
So I could go there and spend as I wanted, even more than I wanted to here. But yeah, it was. I mean, it's difficult because you don't want to take. Yeah, just the whole money situation.
You don't want to be like a prick. You don't be like, oh, that's easily affordable. I can like get that.
You don't want to look like that to them exactly.
Yep.
So they like so the first time I went in, which was last year, so 2022. Obviously, this whole situation wasn't arising, and obviously Pakistanis are very hospitable. So the boys were buying us food. They were doing like so much for us, like taking us to nice restaurants and doing nice things with us. Whereas this time round, they were a little bit more like, if we said we were going to this nice steakhouse, they'd be like, sorry, we can't come, it's a bit expensive. So we actually got to, the thing is, we don't want them to pay for us. So the first time when we went and they just wouldn't let us pay, we actually got ours back because we actually said, come with us, we'll pay for you.
Yeah, because
So-
you know
so
we're
this
not
time round-
we're not tourists anymore. We've been here before. Like, come through.
But yeah, so because it's not like we want to spend time with them. Do you know what I mean? That's why we asked them to come with us. So if it's money's the issue, they're not coming. Like, we will happily go and pay for them to come out for dinner with us or to come to do something fun with us. So you saw the contrast of those two different times I went in the space of a year. But yeah, I mean, in terms of difficulties, yeah, there weren't too many except for the heat. The heat was awful.
Obviously.
Like 47 degrees, like, ooh. Especially when there was one morning I vividly remember. It was so Sunday morning we used to do fitness, like we used to do a flush out, and there was no wind that morning, so the air was still, and you could not breathe. I was there doing fitness, thinking, like, I'm fitter than this. What's going on? And then one of the coaches was like, "Oh, there's no wind," and then I realized, like, where there's not enough oxygen in the air, we're here just out of breath, and the coach is like telling us like, you're all this, you're all that, you guys are so unfit, like bro, you running this weather where there's no air, no heat, like in this heat.
The hypocrisy.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
you're so unfit. How about you run? Oh,
Bro,
yeah, nah, all good, bro.
my guy was sweating while he was walking, like indoors in AC. Like, what makes you think that he can run like we're running outside? Like, the hypocrisy was crazy.
That's mad.
Oh, man.
But
So, going from playing rugby at the age of 6, from tag, finally getting contact at 9 years old, learning how to be a good hooker in Middlesex and being like, I might be a centre, then saying, yeah, nah, sack that, going back to being a hooker, playing doing the DPP, development player program for Wasps, but not getting into the academy, but still playing for Middlesex, and then playing, finally starting to play senior men's rugby, going off to Loughborough. Pandemic hits. You're like, yeah, no, that's not the best thing to do. Having your first international trip for Pakistan ruined in a terrible like situation.
Yeah, it was.
Coming back to it, you finally get into Loughborough playing threes,
3/4s. Let's
three
say.
slash fours, uh, meeting new people, everything like that. Coming to and from, playing a bit of Wasps on the side, going back to Pakistan, playing, training, trying to get onto the team, having a lot of like politics against you, coming back, finishing university, starting to play senior men's rugby again at Wasps, and now finally, let's go into the last bit of transitioning you to your new team. Welcome to the 2023 season with the new London Welsh player, Ossama. How has that been?
You know what? Just before we get into that, talked about the start of your movie,
Let's talk about.
the middle.
The middle of my movie.
Yeah.
There's no end to the movie though, just letting you know right now,
Yeah.
because the movie's gonna keep going.
When you
But
say
like-
middle of the movie, do you mean like
Big action, main scene.
the
big
main
thing.
scene in my movie?
Like,
If I need to give you examples, imagine jumping out of a plane into a pit filled with sharks, shooting fire out their eyes. This is the story of Ossama playing rugby in West London.
I mean, you could be the voice on trailers, you know. Tarek's off it, man. Aye, aye, aye.
Aye.
but yeah, what's the?
But I mean, what? So you basically asked me what would be the most
The crucial bit.
the crucial part of my.
The part where Arnie puts on the makeup is like, it's time to hunt the predator.
I like that.
I mean, my life's been pretty. I mean, rugby sports wise, it's been all like straightforward. You know what I mean? But obviously, being around an international match day, that's like up there. But that'd probably be a later scene, wouldn't it? But I mean, maybe in sixth form. That, do you know what, that transition, that year 13 year where I was doing A levels, I was playing Colts, I was playing men's, I was playing Middlesex, I was doing all of that stuff. That was, but once
That was
probably
like the
from
come
there,
up, innit?
that was that was like the turning point of my life. Do you know what I mean?
That's when Osama became him. He became Himothy.
Timothy, I am him.
He is him.
But that's a question I can't answer, man. One specific thing. There's
Not
been
one
so many-
specific.
One
thing.
specific scene though.
I
There's
mean,
been
if
so
you're
many
to, if
things.
you,
It's, you know, when it's like, imagine you're writing all your thoughts down on a car ride and
You're asking me about what happened at that sevens tournament, innit?
no, I'm not even asking you about that. But you know what? Now
you know what? Now
we're
that you
there-
said
now
it,
that we're there,
now
yeah,
that you said it,
I wasn't even asking you about that. I was waiting for some deeper
Because when I
philosophical
think of
shit.
some blow up, like that's the only like.
No, that could be the bit where things went down, and then you have to go on this redemption arc of like
Redemption,
proving
do you know
yourself
what?
before you go and have that big final fight that you win and then happy ending.
I don't even regret what I did.
Nah. To be honest, that wasn't that deep. But you know what? Okay, funny enough, Osama played in that sevens tournament we talked about in Boyan's episode where Boyan had his thing.
I cried.
So Osama,
Maybe, yeah.
he cried that day.
Wait, is this the same tournament?
That
Same
same
tournament.
tournament after the final of
After
the
the final?
of the shield plate thing.
The thing you put food on that you get when you don't win the trophy.
Yeah,
No, I remember. We did
Yeah.
play in the final.
and yeah. So in that same tournament,
You cried because we lost.
Oh, I had a lot of other things going on.
Right.
If you listen to our last episode,
you would know.
you will know the
true.
interview with Boyan Sasarik with Tarek Mustafa taking the reins of the podcast will be linked below. Anyways, yeah, no, that was a nice little event transpired. You had, how long did you have a ban from the club for?
It wasn't that long, was it?
It wasn't. I think I wasn't allowed to watch. Like the autumn internationals or something. It was.
Oh, what a shame.
and like, which I wasn't gonna do anyways.
Oh, wait, I wasn't gonna do it. Well, I better be upset about it.
Oh no.
Oh,
I had to
no.
be all remorseful in that, but
Darn.
like, but the thing is, all the people that were telling me off, were all also on the side being like, I can't lie, like just like we like what you did. Do you know what I mean? Like,
So let's tell the person
If you want to.
I might have to give it a bit of context first, because then I
Okay.
look like a waste man.
Let's give it
So-
a bit of
Oh,
context.
imagine the no context. Osama sucker punched him in the face and ran away.
So, our old Wasps captain, who
Shan't be named.
shan't be named,
Eddie
but-
Fogg.
Do you know what? Like when I was coming up into that, like I was playing preseason with the men's, and this guy would just shout at me like I'm some waste man. And I'm just like, why is he talking to me like this? Like, is this what this club is? Like, just some older waste man, like some guy 10 years older than you shouting at you for no reason. Like he just made you feel really small, especially when you were like an 18-year-old kid. Like it's about to be your first full season as a man, and like this guy is just acting the way he does.
Just dicking
And
on
then-
you.
Yeah, and later I realized, because he left the club because he thought he was better than the club, and ended up playing the division below we were at. So well done, mate.
Hey, man, you and I, we got somewhere in this world.
Yeah. Right. So
Still
anyway,
Still, we still here though. We in the same annex though.
loyal to the soil.
there you go.
Ooh, nice.
That's a good one.
That's
I'm gonna
nice.
use
That's
that one.
nice.
But so yeah, we played the sevens tournament, and it might have been a late hit. Was it a late hit?
I don't remember.
I mean,
bro.
look, the referee blow for it.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Then it wasn't a late hit.
He didn't blow for it. He didn't blow for it. But I don't think it was a late hit. But anyways, he tried to grubber it through, and I just hit him because I was like, "It's our old captain playing for a different club." Before the game, I was gonna crunch him anyways. Like I wanted to. Anyways, I crunched him. Crunch. As I'm getting up, this guy rocks me on my jaw. It's like.
Oh, he hit you.
Yeah.
I
on the
thought
game,
you
on
just.
the pitch, bro.
Oh, I didn't even see
so,
that.
So obviously I grab him by his collars, and I have Martin on the side shouting, "Ossama, don't do it, don't do it," because bro, I was gonna give him one back, but then I was like, you know what? Like, I looked, I was like, watch what happens, and this guy,
Yeah, what? You're not gonna do anything.
he was bare thinking that as well, you know, it's like you're not gonna do anything. Anyways, then we go and play them in the final, and I still kept my head then.
And he fucking got the last try as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was it
that
his fault, or
was.
did he do the offload?
No,
Nah.
we were 12 all, I think.
It
or
was 12
17
all, and
something like that.
this is what transpired. He got the ball. I was about to tackle him. A player's on the floor. I trip over the player, and he runs around. I'm there like,
And then he goes
no.
and scores under the sticks.
And then he starts gloating about it
And
as
he starts
well.
glowing. He did a little swan dive as well, didn't he? Yeah. And then, anyways, I had some of the boys rile me up afterwards, are you still gonna? Are you gonna hit him? Are you gonna hit him?
Oh yeah, are you brother? You still gonna spark him? Yeah.
Yeah, and they were just like, oh come, I'll be on your back. I'll be on your back. Like, let's do it. And obviously, I was what, 19. I was like, you know what? Yeah. Like, let me do it.
I don't think it's even age. I think it's just the fact like obviously the guy rocked you first and then said, "Oh."
I shouldn't be reacting though, in all honesty. But yeah.
But all the events that led up to it, you know, you have every right to spark your ex-captain
We
in the
do not
face.
promote violence on this podcast.
We don't promote violence. We actually promote. Anyways,
love and hugging.
love and hugging.
But yeah, he was sat on the decking, and I was like, "Yo, you and me car park right now." He was like, "Oh, behave yourself, grow up," and I'm like, "Bro, stand up right now and walk to the car park, or we're gonna do it here." And yeah, and then some swinging happened, and do you know what? I took a step back, and everyone else took over. Like, it wasn't. I mean, I was as I do, mouthing off, which is what I normally do. I don't usually. My elbows don't usually go higher than that unless I'm benching. But yeah, that happened. I got into a little bit of trouble, even though everyone that spoke to me about it, like everyone higher up, was.
They were
kind of-
happy.
they were kind of praising me. It was like he deserved that, by the way. Like, I'm glad you did that. Like, that was good of you.
It's one of those ones where you gotta keep face in public, but behind closed doors, you can be like,
Well, yeah, my disciplinary was recorded. You know what I mean? But like when the recording wasn't on, these lot would not be talking about
So
what they were saying on there.
Osama, look, it ails me to say this. However, you're going to get suspended from the club from watching the autumn internationals, and you're gonna have some duties to do. Click.
Bit of community service.
Oh yeah, bruv. I was bare happy you sparked man in the face.
Well done.
Well done.
It was a bit more, yeah, essentially. In other words, it was like that. But you know, I shouldn't have done it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh look.
Yeah, no,
It
we
shouldn't
live
have
and
happened.
learn. We
It
live
shouldn't
and
have
learn.
happened. Like, I wouldn't do the same now. I would carry on doing what I do, which is.
And this is where the montage starts.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun dun dun.
And then, yeah.
And then this is where the film has its climax. However, you're still 23.
No, there's no climax anytime
There's no
soon,
climax
brother.
anytime soon because you're still coming into this season. And if we go by what you said by the plan is, hopefully in a couple of months' time, you'll be getting promoted, playing with the first team and going into level 4.
Yeah, playing that too.
Now,
That too, which is the same league that Loughborough Ones are in.
look,
Ooh.
if you have any lesson you want to tell a young individual, let's say Osama from 20 years ago, if you could tell him something,
I don't think 3-year-old me. Can
I was
comprehend.
literally just about to say that.
if 15 years ago, Osama at 8 years old, if you could give him any piece of advice, what would it be?
Do you know what? I tell him to work harder.
On his right hook.
Not on my right hook. On my just be more focused on rugby. Because in all honesty, like personally, I felt like I had the talent to get there, but then I didn't realize until it was too late that I didn't have like the height. So I wish I worked earlier to compensate for that in other ways, which has got me to where I am now. Which I mean, without tooting my own horn, like I do feel like I have the talent to play. I could have had the talent to play Prem or like be a professional, but I didn't compensate for my height in other ways like some people would have. So I sometimes think about what if I had played 9, like if I'd been a scrum half, because I obviously have the hands for that, I have the box kick for that, but
And the boxing.
and the boxing, but yeah, and the chatty
mouth, yeah.
and
And your boys behind you too.
exactly, and she's just
Hold me back.
I don't know, like I mean, I love this sport. I understand this sport very, very well, like better than some professionals even.
100%.
And yeah, I tell 8-year-old Osama, like, listen, try your hardest to go pro. Don't start messing around with your mates. Don't be spending like until like 3-4 a.m. chilling with your boys, doing literally nothing, like just so you lot are with each other. Like,
Yeah, just go to sleep.
just go sleep, wake up, go for a run, carry on going for runs. Because like when I'm at my peak, I'm running, I'm hitting the gym good, I'm resting well, I'm training well. It's like I'm eating well, but then obviously the lazy part of you wants to
You know,
sit on the sofa with your boys, chatting away, doing nothing. Like these lot smoking, me just chilling there on my phone. Like,
and to anyone that wants to pursue rugby or get into any sport or pursue anything in life, in sport, whatever, what bit of advice would you give?
pursue anything in sport.
Or just
Do
anything,
you know what?
yeah.
Just enjoy it. Like, the reason I play rugby is because I love it. Like, I love the tactical side of it. I love the hits. I love the carrying. I love the... I mean, we were talking earlier about how I don't get to be myself when I played Wasps ones back in the day. That's what made me enjoy rugby a little bit less. So just express the way you want to play, really, but also do your job. Sometimes I didn't do my job, and I wanted to do other things. I wanted to be flashy. It's like, if you want to do the flashy, do the flashy. Do what you enjoy, but also make sure you do the things that you're supposed to do, and then yeah, you'll enjoy it.
It's a bit of life advice in general.
Life advice.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't have to carry the boats and logs every single day. Sometimes you can ride on the boat. You can sit on the log. Don't got to carry it. Just got to enjoy yourself. Osama,
Balance.
Osama, thank you very much for coming onto the pod.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
And to end it on, fun fact.
Oh God.
Ah,
Go on.
You searched these up before.
no.
You know them.
Hippo milk is pink.
You drink a lot of hippo milk.
Nah, not a fan of strawberry.
So
You know,
Nesquik,
the
hippo
Nesquik,
milk.
yeah, the Nesquik. No, hippo milk's actually pink.
Was that actually?
Yeah,
Mad thing.
mad thing.
That's
Anyways,
quite cool to be
that
fair.
was the episode. Thank you very much.
Like, subscribe, LIS_pod.
Ossama, do you want to put your in?
I mean, yeah, at Ossama Aslam on Instagram, if you'd like.
I'll put it into the link in the bio. Follow us, buy our merch coming out soon, and I don't have any ideas for the merch, but it will be there soon.
One day.
One day it will be there. Thank you very much. That was that was a new episode for the visual learners and the visual listeners. Enjoy. Yeah, sweet, cool.